what made this collaboration possible?
What made the collaboration possible is an opportunity at a certain moment in my schedule. The fact that Simona is out for a few months opened up a window, and I think that on his side, Holger is at a moment of his career where the team in general, him and his team, feel they need something extra to go to the next level. He's 26 in the world now. Now every stage is more and more precise, more and more difficult. So they feel they need to add something to the team to help them reach Holger's goals, which are extremely high. But I think they're also, he has everything to be able to achieve them. And I would say that the last reason why is because we know each other very well for a long time. Holger came to the academy when he was 13 and has been part of the program, and we have developed a relationship. It's probably natural to go to the people that you know, you trust when you need people to be with you.
He wants to be number one, he's number 25. They need something, someone.
I don't think any player needs someone. I think everyone needs to be as accurate as possible on what is lacking between one ranking and the next one that they want to achieve, or one goal, or where they are and the goal they want to achieve. The question is, who is the person that will be able to help the player reach those goals? Do they have a very precise idea? No. They have ideas, and that's probably one of the reasons why they thought about working with me. I think to get the exact idea, you need to spend time, which I didn't do yet. I mean, I know him for a long time, but to be on the day-to-day with someone is completely different. You see so many other details. And I don't think there is one big thing. I think there is an accumulation of a lot of little things. I've seen a few already. Where there is margin for improvement, that's very simple. And you can't make all the fights at the same time, so you have to choose your fights, win them, go to the next one, win it, etc., etc. That's how we're going to operate. I think it's important also for them to have an extra eye, because it's a long story between Holger, his mother obviously, but also his coach, because he's the coach that started tennis with him. Imagine the length of the relationship they have. I think that they're doing an incredible job, and now that I know Lars much better, I realize how good he is, and it's a pleasure to work with him. But I think it's important also to have this extra eye, because when you're with someone for so long, you cannot see things the same way as someone who's fresh also. They're looking for experience also. Experience of the very high level of the Grand Slams, of winning the Grand Slams, etc. So probably, to answer clearly the question, they are looking for someone who's going to add the little details that make such a big difference between someone who's 25 in the world and number one.
These little details can come from physicality, mental, tactical.
I think for any player who's that young, Holger is 19 years old, there is room for improvement everywhere, for sure, 100%. And if you look at what he's done for the last year, he's done incredibly good things, but he's also, at some moments of the year, lost to players that we think he could avoid to lose to, even though this is part of the game and it happens. He's able to play incredible on some moments, which shows the qualities he has. But I think in every field, there is margin for improvement, and that's what we're going to focus on. 1%, 2%, 5%, 10% maybe more, who knows, in every field. And where and in which order, which is very important too.
I understand consistency is maybe what he needs more in the short term.
He needs a lot of things, but again, for me it's a good sign that he has a lot of things that he can progress in. For someone who's number 25 in the world at 19 and can improve in a lot of different areas, for me it's a great news. It shows how big the potential is.
How do you work with Lars? I guess it's a very specific situation. I don't know if you already lived it in the past.
No. Coaching a player that has a coach already, it's different from what I've always done. I've never been in that situation, but I think that it's great to have something new. I always love to be in a situation that I didn't know before, because you always learn, you always progress. It's a challenge also, because you want to make it work. I think they have an incredible relationship, Holger and Lars, because they're together for so long. And the trust is there. He still really listens to him and really likes him and trusts him. So that's something super strong that we need to keep. From what I've seen so far and what I've lived so far with Lars, the communication is great, is super open. We really communicate fully, with completely transparent. maybe it seems like an evidence, but it's not, that his only goal is for Holger to be the best he can. Nothing else. He doesn't think about him. Is it good for him, not good for him? He's focused on Holger. I think it's super positive. I really like to discuss with him about Holger and tennis in general, because I think he's super smart. He understands tennis super well. He understands Holger super well. He's organized in the way he thinks, and of course the way he does things also. So it's a pleasure, honestly. It's a real pleasure. We had already some discussions about exercises on the court, or how to manage to have Holger do this thing. And it's a discussion. I respect him a lot because, as I said, I think he's a great guy and he's a great coach. So, and he's the one who knows Holger the best by far. So I listen to him, and I think it's always interesting what he says. But there is subjects that can be debated, even though I don't want to do that too much for the moment, because I consider I don't know Holger enough yet. But he asks me, I give an opinion, and then we discuss. And if he thinks it's good for Holger, he says to me, we're going to take yours, which is super.
My next question was about to understand if you found your place in their routine, or if you already changed things in his routine.
I didn't change anything in Holger's routine. I didn't change anything in general for the moment, and I always say that. I am in observation mode, so I need to see him, I need to listen to him. I want to see him in many different situations to see how he reacts, tennis-wise, tactic, how he makes adjustments. I don't have enough information. The one who knows Holger is not me, it's Lars. So we collaborate, but for the moment, I don't want to change anything. We discuss. Sometimes I said things to Holger, but before making changes, you have to know the player very well, and it's not the case. And I will not make changes anyway. I will discuss with Lars. We'll do it together. I see it's really as a team effort for the interest of Holger.
What will make those 4 weeks a success in terms of outcome?
I don't want. So I'm gonna. So first of all, Holger is really focused on winning. So I think for him it's important to win, and I don't want to put limits. So I'm not gonna say semi-final of Paris-Bercy is good, because maybe he's gonna win it. Who knows? So I don't put any limit, but we need to win. That's sure. For me, successful for me is getting information. So I want to end up those 4 weeks having a super clear idea about what are the next stages for him in terms of improvements, and how are we going to manage to make it.
And are there goals tennis-wise?
Yes, no, but there are a lot of things that we can improve, and of course there will be goals. There are already some goals. The way he manages the matches at some moments. But I don't feel like I should enter into more details than that.
Yesterday on the photo you released, I think you were 6 around Holger. Can you just make the introduction of who is around him and how it works?
The first person that is next to Holger is Anneke, his mother. She's very much involved with him and his tennis. She's traveling with him all the time. I don't think I have ever seen him without her. So she's basically completely giving her life to Holger's project. And the second person is Lars, who is Holger's coach since Holger started playing tennis. Then you have Lapo, who is Holger's fitness coach. You have Mike
on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, from
the academy.
So Lapo is a fitness coach from Muratoglu Academy. And he's working with Holger for several years. Every time Holger is coming back, Lapo's taking care of him. So for all the practice weeks, and for the moment he's not traveling with him, but he's sending the programs, and Lars is doing the programs with Holger, the fitness. And then you have Mike James, who is the head of Muratoglu Analytics, which is a service that we propose to our players, but also players who are not at the academy, in terms of data analysis, both to scout the opponents and make strategies against the opponent, but also to scout your own performances, where you need to improve, etc., etc. So he's the head of that, and he's working with Holger now for a year, and I know they really appreciate his job too. So we have a big team, and there is also a physio, but he's full time at Muratoglu Academy. Also, he's not traveling with Holger yet.
What's his personality?
I think that Holger is a very aggressive player. He's making his own luck. He makes things depend on him. because he doesn't really let the opponent be the boss on the court. He wants to be the boss himself, and I think he takes his chances a lot. And I think it's his personality and encouraging him to do it more and more, of course, always in a smart way, not overplaying, I think goes in the right direction for him. So that's what I would say about his type of game. Sometimes too far from the baseline, but most of the time close, moving inside, being super aggressive, and he loves also to finish at the net. He's someone who takes his responsibilities.
Do you think he has his professional player body yet ready? Or
No, I think you're right. I think Holger is already physically a machine. When I say machine, it's too much because he's definitely not a machine. But he's very strong. He has really strong legs, for example. He's tall. He gives an impression of power, and also I was impressed by his intensity. He's hitting the ball crazy hard, and you feel that every time he hits the ball, he wants to do something with it. And there is this impression of power that is very impressive. Does he have his body, his adult body? I don't think so. I think he's going to grow still a few centimeters, maybe 3-4. He's already 188, so I think he'll be over 190. And I think this upper body is still young.
The last interview we made was about Carlos Alcaraz.
He's 19 too.
19 too. Holger knows him very well. They played each other on the junior tour. The fact that a guy so young is not so well, is already at the top. Is it part of his mindset at the moment?
First of all, Holger has the ambition to become number one, and it's not a word like this. He really believes he can be number one, and he wants to be number one. To have Carlos be number one already, who's the same age and who knows him for so long, I see it as a challenge for him. He thinks, oh, this guy is going to be my challenger in the future. He's already there, so it pushes him positively. I see it super positive for him, and I really feel it is. I think it's a great motivation. Not that he didn't believe, because he believed before Carlos became number one. So it's not in terms of believing in himself and thinking it's possible, because he already did. It's more the guy is challenging him because he went faster than him. So it's a challenge. So and he's very much like that. He loves challenges, and he loves to be at the top. So he feels this guy went faster. I have to put on more work. I have to put more intensity, etc.
And last question about you, knowing what you know today, what would be your coaching situation next year? We
don't know. That's really the situation at the moment. What we know is that Simona cannot play for the moment. She had this surgery that took her out of the courts, and because it was a surgery, it takes time before she can even do fitness, because it's the nose. And I know it maybe doesn't sound like it, but if you do some physical activity with the surgery that she had at the nose, it creates a kind of compression here, and it's dangerous. So she was not allowed to do any sports, so it's going to take time for her to come back at a good level, because she didn't do anything for a while. It was as simple as that, and she's starting fitness only now and very slowly. So I had time, and I don't know when she will feel ready, but the idea is that I come back with her, and in the meantime, we have this moment with Holger, and we'll see what comes out of it. So I think the most important is to live it day after day, give 100%, be excited with what I do, and I'll see what's happening in the future.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Merci beaucoup.